Le mot Maasai, c'est en fait une religion.
C'est un aborigène du Kenya. Ils gardent des très vieilles coutumes.
Ils sont bizarres, enfin, c'est une civilisation ancienne.
Maasai, ils s'habillent avec des habits rouges. Des gens qui s'habillent avec le rouge, la couleur du sang.
Leurs coutumes sont, disons, un peu sauvages.
C'est une tribu qui boit le sang et qui font leur maison avec les crottes de vache.
Parce que boire du sang, c'est pas tellement recommandé.
T'as goûté le sang?
Non.
Parce que c'est deg.
Ils sont des indigènes, toujours habillés en rouge, qui ont beaucoup de bétail, qui volent le bétail des autres tribus.
Maasai, c'est une tribu qui était au Kenya et qui devient petit.
Les gens qui se déguisent là avec beaucoup de colliers, machin, avec les oreilles bien trouillées, oui.
C'est quelqu'un qui est assez grand, qui s'occupe des vaches, qui habite dans le Rift Valley.
Ils ont une très grande détente.
Ils vivent une vie vraiment très différente de la nôtre.
Maasai, ouais, c'est des guerriers qui vivent dans le Masai Mara ou dans les plaines, ce sont des pasteurs. Ouais.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils mangent?
Du lait de vache et du sang.
Est-ce que tu goûterais si tu aurais la chance?
Le lait, bah oui, mais parce que j'ai déjà goûté, mais le sang, je pense pas, non. Ça représente le Kenya, c'est un symbole assez important pour le Kenya.
I think they're the only Kenyans who keep their culture, because to me, they're just people who wear shukas and color their hair and faces and carry spears around.
Me being not a Kenyan, I've learned to accept that Maasais are better than other tribes in Kenya. And that these kind of people who appreciate other people's culture, unlike other tribes.
The Maasai, I see them once or twice in the city. Most of the time I see them in documentaries.
They wear beads and also wear some kind of dressing, and also their style of dancing is also nice.
Oh yes, people who can jump and really walk far.
I think they're very primitive in those kangas of theirs and their sticks and standing in one leg posture. Wow, they look primitive.
A weird lifestyle, I must say, but really for survivors.
Oh, Daniel. How are you, Daniel?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine,
Ça va? Ça va. Ah.
Bonjour, alors aujourd'hui on est dans une maniata. C'est une habitation Maasai faite de bouse de vache et de boue et de morceaux de bois. Et voilà, nous allons vous parler un peu de la vie qui s'y passe.
And this is Daniel Lampeira. Daniel, would you tell us about you and your family?
Our family is an extended family, and I have a father. I don't have a mother, but I have my stepmothers. I am the third son in the family, in my mother's house. We've lived here for over 20 years now, probably 30, because the time I came here I couldn't remember, or the time my father said this Manyata here, I was very young. I grew up here, and I don't know much about beyond when we lived here.
So this is your house?
Yeah, this is my house. I have a wife, and I have one son, and I got married 1 year ago.
How many children do you want?
Not many children. Not many children as my father, because life as we grew up is not the same as it is now. You know, life was easier, maybe during my childhood. And this time is maybe very difficult, so I cannot be able to bear so many children as my father was able to. I might have only 4 or 3 kids.
And how many wives do you want to have? Will you have only 1 or 2 or 3?
Now I have 1 wife, and I'm not yet decided whether I will be able to have more wives, because maybe I will have another wife when I'm wealthy.
What does wealthy mean for you?
Wealthy means now if I have a property like the way my father has, because he has many cows, he has many goats, he has a big family also, and he has land, and that is the main problem now. It's concerns land, and if one has plenty of land, you can be able to keep animals, and you could have, wealth.
And how can you become wealthy? I mean, does your father give you what he has when you grow older?
Yes, even for us Maasai, we say the son who has a father is not a man. You know what I mean is, in our tradition, one has to be circumcised to be a man, but manhood cannot be that much when you have a father. Because when you have a father, you still are a child to the father. He still rules everything, and he still owns everything, whatever one has. Like for example, now I have my cows and goats, but still I have to tell him when I want to do this, when I want to do that. It's not much I can do just freely as the way I want.
How many cows do you have?
Now we have 80 head of cows. 80 cows, and we have maybe 100 goats. And we used to have very many before the drought, and when the drought came, we wiped off half of our cows and half of the goats. So, and this is just a few months ago.
And what do you do with them? Do you eat them? Do you sell them? Do you exchange them? What do you do with them?
We sell them when we are in need of money, and we slaughter them when we want meat, and also we keep them for milk also. And also when we want to add some more, we can take a bigger one and maybe exchange with some other smaller ones. Because there are people who would, maybe there is someone who doesn't have a bigger bull, and he would want a bigger bull from us. And he wants to exchange with other animals, not to buy with money.
Tell us about why do you drink the blood sometimes?
Blood is food to us. Blood is really food to us. Even let's say, for example, if we slaughter a goat right now, we can just drink blood. We cannot waste it because it's food.
And isn't it true that you exchange them when you want a wife, for example?
Yes.
You propose to the father of the girl.
Yes. That we exchange for the girl as just as dowry.
And as far as you're concerned,
yeah.
How many cows did you give to your parents' wife?
I have given 8 cows. It's not only cows we give, but we also give clothing to the family, and also to the father and all the relatives. We take blankets and shukas for their mamas, and also we take some beer, or honey.